Rockets are used to transport payloads into various regions of space, including low Earth orbit, high Earth orbit, and crewed missions to space. To break free from Earth's gravitational pull, any object has to travel approximately at 11.2 kilometers per second. This incredible speed requires massive amount of fuel, and typically 80% of the rocket's weight is its fuel. A good rocket must efficiently use fuel. Modern rocket fuels include liquid hydrogen, liquid methane, and RP1, which is also called as refined kerosene. SpaceX chose methane for their Raptor engines because honestly it overall well aligns with their space missions. If you take Mars, it's abundant in CO2 and there's a process called as the Sabatier process, which can be used to convert CO2 into methane. Not just that, liquid methane performs better than RP1 and it is easier to handle and store than hydrogen, and overall it leaves less residue than kerosene. Now that we understand why methane is the fuel of choice, let's talk about how much methane is required. At the end of the day, in order to provide a given amount of thrust, there are simple formulas that are available that tells you how much fuel is required. Once you know that, you can actually use stoichiometric equations to figure out how much air or oxygen is required. Now, at the end of the day, on a mass basis, for every part of methane, you need 4 parts of oxygen in order for the combustion to be complete. The next cool thing about the Raptor 3 engine is its turbopump systems. Let's talk about that. The turbopump is critical for delivering propellants at high pressure. It consists of an inducer to prevent cavitation, an impeller to increase pressure, and a turbine to drive the pump. The Raptor 3 uses a full flow stage combustion cycle, which is among the most efficient rocket engine cycles. The Raptor 3 also uses 2 preburners for higher efficiency. One, a fuel-rich preburner, which powers the fuel turbopump with excess methane, and an oxidizer-rich preburner, which powers the liquid oxygen turbopump with excess oxygen. These partially combusted high-pressure streams finally meet in the main combustor, where they undergo complete combustion, producing maximum thrust. Early rocket engines used to fail because of overheating, and one of the ways it can actually be cooled is using something called as regenerative cooling. Propellants are really cool, so you can actually use that to cool the combustion chamber. Here is a very simple example of how propellant can actually be used to cool combustion chamber surfaces. However, this approach is not very sophisticated because the combustion chamber is not cooled evenly. As an improvement, you can try carving out a cooling channel around the combustor. This is not an elegant solution, but it definitely cools the combustion chamber surfaces evenly. Modern engines like the Raptor 3 uses hundreds of finely machined cooling channels that don't just run in a spiral shape. These channels provide an even higher cooling coverage in the most important areas. When you buy a car, you care about its mileage. But when it comes to rocket, the equivalent would be specific impulse. So for a given kg of fuel, how long can the rocket produce a certain amount of thrust? The Raptor 3 engine achieved a specific impulse of 350 seconds, and here's how it compares with other comparable rockets. When mounted on a launch vehicle like the Starship, the Raptor 3 engine uses electromechanical systems to gimbal the engine. This provides thrust vectoring. Basically, you're controlling the direction of thrust, which is used to stabilize the rocking. Overall, the Raptor 3 engine basically is a culmination of really amazing technologies put together in a single device. Alright, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the content, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.